Let's build a list of potions. This idea in D&D of consumables. As you go through the various adventures and quests, you get gold, you get magic items, you use that to acquire consumables, potions, scrolls, and wands. Things that have a finite 1 or many or 20 uses, and then they're gone. Compared to, say, consistent magic items, leather armor +1, as long as you have that armor, it's going to be granting that +1. Longsword +1, or other major or minor wondrous items. Consumables are important. You don't want to look at them and say, from the perspective of a player, if I'm paying 50 gold pieces, 100 gold pieces, 300 gold pieces for a one-time use and it's gone, wouldn't I be better off not focusing on that and shifting things over to other magic items? That's a possibility, but what's interesting in D&D is that there are a number of potions that can only be replicated by spell effects. Now you have to have that spell ready and memorized. You have to have the ability to cast that spell, be at the appropriate level, and depending on the rules that you're playing, the time that it takes to cast that spell. Potions are instantaneous. In addition to the potion list, there are a number of potion effects that are not to be found in character classes Arcane, Divine, or other magic type effects. So they're very, very unique in giving you a boost in that moment to need what needs to get done. So that potion list, what are some potions that are kind of interesting? Healing potions. Now, they're boring, yes, but one of the things we covered in a previous vlog that I pushed up to the channel here, what is the most difficult character class to play? And I'm just going to kind of sidebar for a moment to this because we want to capture the framework. A cleric is really hard to play because not only do you have to manage your own character and the encounter and as you navigate, but everybody else in the party is like, I need healing. I need this. I need healing. Can you boost me? Can you give me advantage? Can you give me a daily bonus? Back and forth, especially when other players might overextend themselves into an encounter and get in trouble. They're like, no problem if I get surrounded. I'm just going to have Fritz blast me and heal me back up. Everybody's handing out healing word like it's candy. So with that, whenever I play a character, I always bring your own heals. I bring a couple of healing potions, whether it's a generic pot, a light, medium, or heavy cure wounds, something where I don't have to tax the cleric. Now, if the cleric can throw me a heal, that's great because I'm not expending that potion, but it's going to keep me alive. It's not going to overtax the cleric if I get in trouble, or if I find myself surrounded and in a place where the cleric's been neutralized or they're not able to heal me, I'm okay. So I think every single character class, absolutely 100%, you want to have a couple of level appropriate healing potions. Second potion, invisibility. Invisibility is just good. Now, yes, there are some monsters and in some cases where they can see invisibility, detect invisibility. But for the most part, an invisibility is a great potion where not only you might have to sneak across somewhere or not be detected, but there are some encounters where you're looking and saying, we really don't want to fight this encounter, especially if we're talking about kind of old school D&D where there were no challenge ratings. You had to assess in that moment, can we do this encounter? Can we take this encounter on? Not every encounter in the adventure was written for you to take on. So you might assess and say, okay, the party's like, we're all level 5. But there's no way we can take on this dragon. But look at some of that treasure there. I'm noticing a few key magic items. There's that nice cloak. There's that glowing crown. There's that sword that's just on fire, just burning consistently. I want to grab those items. I want to run in there and grab them. Having an invisibility potion gives you that opportunity. It's a good potion to have. A little bit pricey, even through the different editions of D&D, but considering that really only wizzies can cast invisibility, that not only frees up the spell slot, but leaves you independent. So I like to have an invisibility potion ready to go. I'm not going to stock 5 or 6. I'm not going to be using them consistently. That's not cost effective, but I've got my healing potion. Next would be some form of haste. I say some form of haste because, again, depending on the edition of D&D, haste is either nice to have or absolute, just godlike breaking the game. The ability, not so much to move quicker, but the ability to make more attacks if you're a fighter or a warrior class. That's huge. Or even as a caster, if I can cast my spell, how exactly they do that, I'm not sure. But if I can cast that spell quicker, if I'm playing with spell timing and casting times, that's interesting also to have. So having haste ready to go. And again, that's going to be a potion that whatever I pay for it in gold piece expenditures, I'm not popping this every single encounter. I'm holding that and the invisibility potion where the risk versus rewards versus consumption are going to be worth it. Now, two other potions that I think are interesting, then I'm going to turn it over to you, my fellow D&D players and my fellow dungeon masters, to build out this potion list. One is a potion that I think is handy for certain situations, very focused. You're not really going to use it, but if you do use it, it's going to be a game changer. Might prevent a total party kill. And then the second is things are going really, really bad. We're looking at a total party kill, and maybe I have to be the one that escapes simply because someone's got to get out of there and maybe rescue us or do something. First, Potion of Undead Detection. This potion makes you immune. Essentially, it's undead invisibility, right? Cloaks your life force, cloaks whatever. It's a little bit pricey. This potion, Vampire Lord, no problem. Undead level drain, that hits you once and you're only a third level fighter and you're just going to blast out, lose 1d4 levels. No problem. Pack of ghouls or ghasts prowling around. No problem. There's a lot of undead in D&D. And what's interesting to framework this, some undead are just kind of just zombies and skeletons where you can hack through them. They've got some bite in numbers, but I think we can manage them, or certainly we could turn them. Then there's some undead that just kind of laugh in your face if you try and do that. There's some very, very powerful undead monsters in D&D that even with a dedicated cleric, possibly, I don't think they're going to directly turn them. They might drive them away. I don't want to get hit by undead. Level drain is serious mojo. I mean, they've got spell effects. They're going to be hitting with superhuman strength. They're going to be doing a lot of damage. I can maybe navigate that as a player, but level drain is just really, really hard to counter. If I can just be invisible from it all, that's fantastic. Second potion, final potion, would be Gaseous Form. This turns you into a sparkling silver cloud and you float away. Of course, all your gear drops to the ground, but it's kind of the ultimate final escape potion if you need to escape somewhere. Now, over the years, we've experimented with using it to get into a tight place or to get into a place and maybe to navigate and explore. But literally, you've got no gear. That's a little bit dangerous. I mean, even at the lower levels, if I don't have a ton of magical gear, I want to keep what I have because it's going to augment my abilities. But there are times where just absolutely you need to 100% escape to either res the party or you've been surrounded, things are going to go crazy, you're going to get killed, you can pop this potion. So that tops my list. Now, if we get a couple of other interesting potions along the way, I might keep them to try out. But building that list as a DM, as a player, what are 2, 3, 4, 5 potions that you're like, these are auto-includes regardless of the character class?